It's a new year, a new season, and we are underway.
Really dominating fashion here today is going to win.
2, 3, 4 for the final time.
Win number 1 on the season, only just barely.
He is going to win here at the Nazareth Speedway.
Wins the Emerson Electric 100k.
Gonna be Igor Barretto's gonna eke it out.
Cup Series champion is Shane Lake in the number 15.
Welcome to the NOFSRL.
Welcome, folks, to the Finger Lakes region of Western New York here at the Watkins Glen International here, Watkins Glen, New York. We are here for NOFSRL Super Glen Week. It continues here on the Trinity River Network as the Cabela's Cup Series arrives for its first of 2 races this weekend here on this beautiful, beautiful road course. We are here for today's running of the BodyArmor Lyte 400k, race number 24 of 32 here in season number 3. 9 races left till we crown a champion. Let's go ahead and take a look at your point standings. Coming into this race, after his 3rd win of the season 2 weeks ago at Armory Digital, Darian Arnsdorf comes in with a 10-point lead over Trey Smith. Arnsdorf 617 points to the championship, 10 points ahead of Trey Smith, 45 ahead of Kukulon, 60 ahead of Brad Stover, 62 ahead of Roy Ribbleton, 63 ahead of Brad Crawford, 64 ahead of Sam Adoskin, and 65 ahead of both Ben Crouch and Benny Watson. And to round out the top 10, it's Will Parrish, 70 points behind Darian Arnsdorf. It's going to be a good one here at Watkins Glen. We are more than ready to get it going. So now let's go down Trek side. We'll get you your starting lineup so we can get this show on the road. And the engines will come to life here at Watkins Glen. 42 going to roll off from the grid. It is Mitchell Collins on the pole position there in car 59. He is starting alongside the 22 of Dan Park. In row number 2, we find the 83, 2-time winner this season from Trinity River Racing. It's Sam Adoskin. He is starting alongside the DeWalt number 2 of Ben Young for Blackout. His teammate Dan Park there starting on the pole position. In row number 3, we find Trey Smith, 2nd place pointsman there out of Arctic Racing in the Cottonelle 77 Ford, starting alongside the 1 of Christian Vargas, the Cinema Chevrolet out of Full Frontal Motorsports. In row number 4, we find your championship leader, Darian Arnsdorf, out of All-Star Speed Team in that Chevrolet Procore number 14. He is starting alongside the 17 out of Logan Sport with the 21 Pilots colors on it. It's the Dodge of Titan Nicholas. Rounding out the top 10, we find your Independence 500 winner out of Chimera Racing, Jack Daniels number 07 Toyota. It is Brad Crawford starting alongside the number 8 Haas and Menards Ford out of Rock Car Racing. It's your Kansas winner earlier this season, Joey Hightower. That is going to round out the top 10 here at Watkins Glen. The 2 uncharted drivers coming into this race. In the 26, it's Riley Snare. And in the 50, a little further on back, we find Logan Alexander. There he is starting in the 41st position alongside Ryan Durrani in the 34. And we are now more than ready to get this one started here at Watkins Glen. They go by the Genesee can there at turn 8. Up the hill into turn 9. And we have no idea what we're going to see here today. We saw quite the interesting race yesterday. Though dominated by John Andrews, Louis Zankala swept through on the final lap and led just 1 lap yesterday. And we are more than ready to get another one going here. 2nd of 3 races here at Watkins Glen this week on the Trinity River Network. We are more than ready to get this one going. Green flag is out. The BodyArmor Lyte 400k is green. It's a great start on the outside of turn number 1 there by Dan Park in the 22. His teammate Young with him. Collins there on the inside as they head into 2. Head up into the S's. And it's a Blackout Motorsports 1-2 as they come out of the S's down the long back straightaway. Park, Young, and then it's Mitchell Collins, Christian Vargas, and Titan Nicholas, the top 5. Sam Oskin and Trey Smith are side by side. Oskin did not get a good start at all. Looked like he spun the tires a little bit on the start, trying to maintain a spot there inside the top 6. He's fallen to the 6th position, now about to fall to 7th as Trey Smith powers his way to the inside there in that 77. What a move by the Cottonelle driver. But Oskin's going to have the dominant line now. There's a right-hander coming up in 7. Meanwhile, up front for the race lead, Park and Young side by side for the point. Park's going to hold on to it out of turn number 7. Collins and Vargas going to go side by side there for 3rd. As they head off into the heavy braking zone of turn number 8. Collins a little wide there on Vargas, but he's going to have the left-hander of turn 9 coming up here to work out as an advantage for him. They actually stayed fairly well even there. And Vargas trying to drive it in deep into 10 to hold off for 3rd. He will take the position away from Collins. And meanwhile, up front, Park's going to go a little wide there. Ben Young. Park clips the outside wall off of 11, and Young is going to come through and lead lap number 1 here at Watkins Glen. One car already coming down the pit road, the 25 of Owen Miles already coming into the pits here. Don't know what's going on with him. He's just staying there. Don't exactly know what's going on. Well, now he's coming out. Don't exactly know what the strategy is there, but he is coming back out onto the racetrack. No cautions in this race, by the way. We don't do cautions at the road courses. But up front here, it is still Young leading this thing by about 2 or 3 car lengths ahead of Dan Park, who has a mirror full of Christian Vargas right now. Titan Nicholas 4th, Mitchell Collins 5th, as Oskin's going to dive to the inside of the 59, and they're going to be side by side coming out of 6. Into the boot they go, down into turn number 7 at the bottom of the hill. Collins going to push Oskin a little wide coming out of turn number 7. And he is going to take the position back away from Samet Oskin. But up ahead, Christian Vargas trying to give the old boot scoot boogie to Dan Park there. Park got a little better exit there out of 8. Up into the heavy braking zone of 9 they go at the top of the hill. Vargas slides a little wide. Nicholas might get to the inside of him. Not quite, though, but it is still a Blackout Motorsports 1-2 up front. Owner Noah Clifton just has to be pleased right now. Ben Young and Dan Park 1-2. He's Young going to go wide like his teammate did on lap 1. No, he is not. And, oh, we got a big shunt back there as Beverly Creed went wide and slammed the wall. Everyone keeps it straight, though. That was almost another bad deal there with Daisy Johnson and Keegan Thompson. As Johnson went wide, came down into Thompson, went back up into the guardrail, almost came back into traffic. But up front, the teammates are nose to tail now as they come out of the S's and down the back straightaway. Will we see Park making a move on his teammate into turn number 5? Now he's going to stay right in behind the number 2. Young and Park 1-2 still heading into turn 6. Young as the leader. As for 3rd, here's Vargas and Nicholas going at it there. Like Nicholas tried to attack him going off into 5. Vargas ran him a little wide in 6. Nicholas surely not going to like that. He's going to stay on the inside of him coming out of turn number 7. And they'll stay side by side for now. And there's another right-hander coming up here that could benefit Nicholas. Vargas slips a little wide coming out of 8. But now up the hill into 9, Oskin trying to figure out where he wants to go there in that 83. A little wide through the grass he goes, narrowly avoiding the guardrail. But now off into turn number 10. Nicholas a little wide, as is Oskin. Christian Vargas and Nicholas still side by side for 3rd position. As up front, Young has slammed the guardrail coming out of 11. And Park is going to go right by his teammate for the race lead. Nicholas into the 3rd position, Vargas 4th, Oskin 5th, Trey Smith there in 6th, Hightower, Collins, and Arnsdorf, and Robinson. That's the top 10 right now. Arnsdorf comes into this race the points leader, just 10 points ahead of Trey Smith. Smith not in any position to take the points lead at the moment. But we will see how the rest of this race plays out here. Only on lap number 4 here at Watkins Glen. But it's been a very interesting race so far. Not a whole lot of damage there on Ben Young, by the way, after going wide in 11 and slamming the Taco Bell wall. But he is going to go back into attack mode on his teammate Dan Park right now. They're going to want to be careful though, because they have Titan Necklace right there that could spoil the Blackout Motorsports party. As Park goes a little wide there, going through 7. Young down to the inside. Doesn't look like he gained on him a whole lot. But now headed off into 8 they go. By the Genesee can. Into 9. Young. Is he going to pop out to the inside? No, he will not. So Park and Young still staying singled out. 1 and 2 right now. Now headed into turn number 10 and 11. Park went wide on lap 1. Young went wide the last time through. Is either one of them going to go wide this time? Oh, both of them go wide and hit the wall. Park goes around in front of Nicholas and Young. Who's going to get through? Oskin's going to get through. And more collisions going on behind. Who would have thunk it? Both the teammates went wide. And now Samit Oskin is leading. Trey Smith in second. And the Blackout 1-2 party is over. It is Ben Young third now. And Dan Park. Did he even get back going? Yes, he did, in front of Benny Watson. But way, way back outside the top 20 now. Like he's about 24th position right now. That is it. Oh, through 5. Around goes Nicholas off the bumper of Christian Vargas into the guardrail. He goes. And look out for this traffic coming around. This is the fastest corner on the racetrack. Look out as they'll come through double file here, trying to get by that 17 as he gets back up to speed. Very, very anxious racing going on here at Watkins Glen. Unfortunately, we're seeing a lot of really good drivers who needed good points days here going into the wall already here before halfway at Watkins Glen. The drivers who were 1-2 for the first 4 laps of the race, both of them simultaneously going off into the turn 11 wall, coming to lap 5. Unbelievably. Now has Samit Oskin leading this thing. Trey Smith is going to get to the inside as the 83 goes wide. And he's going to get into the race lead now. The points leader coming in, Darian Arnsdorf, now up to the 6th position. Boy, this could almost be enough to give Trey Smith the points lead, because he now has a bonus point for leading a lap. Then you add on the 3 bonus points you get for winning the race. If this race ended right now, I believe Trey Smith would be coming out of this race with a points lead. Or they'd at least be tied. If it wasn't a tie, it would be a 1-point lead for either driver, either Smith or Arnsdorf. But right now, Hightower on the backside of Oskin off into turn 6. A huge dive by car number 8. Down to the inside of the 83. They're going to continue to be side by side, coming down into turn number 7. Oskin's going to push the 8 a little wide, and he's going to hold on to that 2nd position for the time being. Gracious, what good racing we are seeing so far here at Watkins Glen. By the Genesee can they go one more time. Trey Smith in the lead, then Oskin, Hightower, Young, Vargas, Arnsdorf, Robinson, Collins, Buck, and Reynolds. The top 10 right now, as mostly singled out through the rest of the field. Thibodeau and Kanan Bill are going at it there for position. Bill are going to take a look at the inside of Thibodeau, going through turn 9. That is for 29th, looks like. Thibodeau going to stay right on the rumble strip there as they head for turn number 11. Thibodeau's going to hold him off for now. Ben Young going to come down the pit road here a little earlier than everybody else. But he'll be the first taker to come down the pit road here. It's Trey Smith. Still up front by little over half a second as they head down the long back straightaway by the Octane and Toyota sign. Headed off into turn number 5. Again, the fastest point of the racetrack, going off into turn 5. Approaching at around 190 miles per hour. It's Buck and Collins going to go side by side here for 7th. They're going to stay door to door evenly side by side coming out of 6. And down into 7, looks like Buck is going to have the advantage. He's going to push that 59 a little wide. And Buck is going to take 7th away from the 59. Meanwhile, up front, Oskin trying to close back in on Trey Smith. Smith's car still looks like it just rolled off the hauler. He's weaved his way through traffic. Has made very little contact with anybody, if any. But now we're coming around for halfway this time by. Smith, is he going to run it wide? He's going to stay off the wall just barely. But now we are at halfway, folks. Halfway done here at Watkins Glen. So let's crank it up. Seven laps now remain here at Watkins Glen. It's still Trey Smith leading. Sam Oskin is second. Joey Hightower third. They head down off into turn number 1. Side by side here for position. Riley Snare going after the 11 of Alexander Rowe there for 13th. As a car on pit road, a couple of cars now. Andrew Williams coming off. Nathan Stapleton coming down onto the pit road. So now the second and third car, at least, that we've seen come down onto the pit road. And likely going to see some more coming down here, coming to lap 10, I would imagine. Getting closer and closer to the end of this thing. Pit cycles, since they happened at lap 10 yesterday, around lap 10, they happened right at the end of the race yesterday. Louis Zankala, one of the first cars that came down the pit road, and he used that undercut to get up to speed and got right around the rest of the field and won yesterday. He led only one lap in the Tetris 99 right here at Watkins Glen. Oh, Oskin's going to go wide coming out of turn 8. Off into the dirt he went for a second. That's going to allow Hightower to close in, and Smith might pull away a little bit. But Osgen, quite clearly the handling going away on that 83 car, likely because of that damage he sustained on the left side. He's going to have to come down the pit road to get that fixed, not only for service, as Smith, Osgen, Hightower will come down the pit road, as will Arnsdorf. And I'd be surprised if we saw anybody stay out here, because everybody has come down the pit road so far. Stover looks like he's going to stay out. He may be the only one. No, Thibodeau's going to stay out. Looks like he meant to, though. Obviously, Williams and Miles already came down the pit road. I assume Silver Point already came down. Then Young, Stapleton, Crawford, Collins, Biller, Park, Johnson, Parrish, Nicholas. So here's your race leader right now. Brad Stover, who was in the 14th position when everybody just came down the pit road. He's now up front leading this thing. Jacob Thibodeau was in the 19th position. He's now second. Surely we're going to watch out for the rest of the field here. Trey Smith came out in front of everybody else, looks like. So that would put Hightower second. Maybe Vargas third. Robinson fourth. Buck fifth. Or no, it put Silver Point third, wouldn't it? Silver Point's on the lead lap. I didn't realize that. But maybe is one of these cars that sustained damage in the lead. It's Williams and Miles in the lead right now. I don't believe they would be. But let's see now. Brad Stover going to come down the pit road, and Jacob Thibodeau going to come down the pit road as well. Coming to lap 11. We're at 5 laps to go here at Watkins Glen, as Williams going to slide wide and hit the wall. Miles going to come down the pit road again. And watching out for Trey Smith to come around. Is he going to hit the... No, he's not. Hightower is going to, though. Silver Point's going to come down the pit road. Vargas and Robinson going to make contact and slam the wall on the front straightaway. Buck is going to hit him. That was heavy contact there on the inside wall coming out of 11. Looks like mostly everybody's going to make it through. Vargas involved. Buck and Robinson also have damage from that. Vargas smoking. Smoke billowing out of that one car, and he is definitely going to fall out of this one. Robinson slow, obviously. So is Buck. But now, Trey Smith still in the lead of this thing. Hightower went wide and hit the wall. And it looks like it is a hefty lead for Trey Smith. And an even heftier gap back to third position, which looks like it's Sebastian Kukulon. Can't even see second place because he's already rounded the bend. Here they are battling for the third position there, side by side a little further back. For sixth place there, Christopher Reynolds and Ben Young going at it. Or not Ben Young, but Ben Crouch. Ben Young right in behind Ethan Lewis. Going to go a little wide there through turn 8. Lewis and Kukulon nose to tail there for the third position. Lewis a little wide on the turn 9 exit. But Smith and Hightower 1-2 here at Watkins Glen now with 4 laps to go. 1.73 seconds is the difference. Kukulon and Lewis going to go side by side through 11. And Lewis is going to take the spot away from that 82. What a pass by Ethan Lewis. You just see that 13.5 seconds back from Trey Smith is third place. That is just an incredible gap. But obviously we know why. The incident with Chase Buck, Josiah Robinson, and Christian Vargas held everybody else up as they all had to slow up and get by the mess. There's Robinson, still slow. Buck is slow, and obviously Vargas, the smoke coming out of his car, it's a shocker he hasn't just pulled off the track and just been teleported back, but he's going to try to drive all the way home to his pit crew. But either way, as Nicholas goes and slams the wall in turn 11, Buck has made it to the pit road. Robinson's going to get to the pits this time, and Vargas, 2 turns left before he gets to the pit road, as Smith and Hightower are going to come up the hill right now out of turn 9. Andrew Williams going to go by the slow car of Vargas. He's going to go wide and slam the wall once again. That's the 3rd or 4th time he's done that now. As now all 3 cars that were in that incident have made it to the pit road. Josiah Robinson is going to fall out of this one, as will Vargas, I assume. All the smoke coming out of his car, but now 1.7 seconds even is the difference at the line, and Lewis is going to slide wide and slam the wall. Kukulon is going to close back in on him. A few more cars back there slamming into that outside turn 11 wall, but Kukulon closing in on Ethan Lewis now for that 3rd position. 14.66 seconds, though, off of the race lead that Trey Smith has, and Hightower trying to do everything he can to close in on that 77, potentially stealing a race win away. And we'll see where Arnsdorf is right now. What a commanding performance, by the way, for Trey Smith. Still looks like it just came off of the hauler. His points rival, Darian Arnsdorf, 26th on track right now. So the way things are right now, leading into the 500k tomorrow, it would be Trey Smith coming out of here with the points lead. But of course, you also got to factor in the top 20 reset, the top 20 inversion, I should say. So Arnsdorf, you know, he's going to do everything he can to see if he can get back up to 20th. It's going to be a difficult task. He's in 26th, as I say again. So yeah, he's got his work cut out for him for the remainder of this race. Ethan Lewis still 3rd, despite having gone wide in turn 11 the last time through and slamming the wall. Kukulon trying to hold Reynolds and Young at bay there for that 4th position. But up front, they come around. We're at 2 laps remaining, and Hightower looks like he went wide and slammed the turn 11 wall. Even more damage on that 8 than before. Now, I think it's pretty much a done deal for Trey Smith now in the 77, as far as the race win is concerned. Back here for 4th and 5th, the battle rages on. Ben Crouch and Riley Snare going at it there for 10th. Crouch holding off the Uncharted driver for the time being, and in behind them for the 12th position, Stover and Collins going at it. Riley Snare not giving it away, not giving it up to Ben Crouch, and they are still side by side down the back straightaway into 5. They make contact, headed off into the corner. And Snare is going to slide up in front of the 74, take that position away, and Stover going to get to the inside of the 74 through 5, but now Crouch is going to have the inside lane through 6, so he'll hold off the 48 for the time being. But up front, Smith a little wide on the turn 8 exit, but that's a massive gap back to Joey Hightower. He's going to come around and get the white flag in just a second, as Ethan Lewis is in 3rd, Kukulon 4th, Ben Young in 5th, as Reynolds and Logan Alexander now go at it there for the 6th position. Reynolds take it away from the 50. But now the white flag is in the air here at Watkins Glen for Trey Smith, looking to get his 2nd win of the season. He'll become the 4th driver this season to have multiple race victories. All of the winners this season have been full-timers. Not a single uncharted win this season. But Trey Smith, he's been deadly consistent all season long. Has the best average finish coming into this of any driver in the field. Honestly, the only reason he didn't have the points lead, one would argue, is that Arnsdorf had 3 wins. Even though Arnsdorf has 10 top 10s coming into this weekend. Trey Smith, 8 top 10s, 4 top 5s, and 1 win came earlier this season at Phoenix. But now, through the boot he goes, through turn 7, trying to bring the 77 home. Down the bottom of the boot he goes. And what a convincing performance it's been for the 77 of Trey Smith. By the Genesee sign he goes one more time. Checkered flag ready to come out at the start-finish line. Up the hill through 9 they go, and Hightower's going to try, but he's not going to get close enough for the race victory. It's going to go to Arctic Racing's Trey Smith as he rounds turn 11, coming to the checkered flag. He's going to have a nice, easy exit off the corner, and Trey Smith, 2nd win of the season, he wins the BodyArmor Lyte 400k here at Watkins Glen to kick off the Cabela's Cup Series double-headed weekend here at Watkins Glen. Now for 4th. Ben Young and Chase Buck going at it here as this battle rages on. Young and Buck side by side for 4th. They both make contact. It's going to be Young, and Buck is going to get a top 5 there, just narrowly ahead of Reynolds. Or wait, is Buck a lap down? Never mind, Buck's a lap down. So, it'll be Smith, Hightower, Lewis, Young, and Reynolds in the top 5. Then Davenport, Kukalon, uncharted driver of Logan Alexander, Brad Stover, and how about that? Both the uncharted drivers finishing in the top 10. There's Riley Snare finishing in 10th. Good job for both the uncharted drivers. Points leader coming into this race, Darren Arnsdorf, did not make it back into the top 20, so he will not be part of the inversion. But Trey Smith, unfortunately, he's going to go from 1st to 20th, but at least he's coming out of this one with the points lead. What an outstanding performance here in the BodyArmor Lyte 400k. Joey Hightower finishing there in the 2nd position, his beaten and battered 8. But they had a massive gap over Ethan Lewis there, who takes home the tail end of the podium, finishing in the 3rd position. But as they'll round turn 10 and 11, they will come to the pit road. And we had a few incidents happen in this race. We had a couple of big ones, and we are going to go back and take a look at the replays and see what it was that led to them occurring here at Watkins Glen, as these drivers will come down the pit road. And Smith will be welcomed by his team. A winner, Hightower. Boy, he's had some atrocious runs this season, so that's got to at least feel like a win to him. He said, I finished 2nd, and I'm just as happy as I can be. Comes in 25th in the point standings. He was 135 points behind Darian Arnsdorf's points lead. Boy, that's the way to point it in the right direction, Joey Hightower. But now, let's go and take a look at the replays of the incidents earlier in this race here at Watkins Glen. So here's the first one. This was on lap 4, coming to lap 5. Both the blackout cars go and slam the outside turn 11 wall. Park, not able to stop the skid. He gets sideways there. Nicholas runs into the back of Young, and Vargas in the 1. Not able to get by in time to keep Sam Oskin from getting the race lead as he split the middle there between the 17 and 2. But behind here comes the 7 of Crawford, gonna ram right into the back of the 22 rather, of Dan Park. And that was the first incident here at Watkins Glen. That was the first notable one, and it took out the 2 guys who led the first 4 laps of this thing. They were 1-2, and well, this is where they faded into obscurity. But let's take a look at another angle. Now as they come in, we're at full speed, headed off into turn 11. Park and Young go and slam the wall. Park breaks sideways there. Nicholas nowhere to go. Young gets run into the back of by the 17, and Crawford comes in, hits the 22 of Park, and everybody else trying to take evasive action there. But that was just the first incident here. Let's take a look at the other one. So as they round turn 11 here, this was Vargas going wide, and then Robinson went a little wide there. They go in and slam that inside wall, and Buck going to have nowhere to go right there as he runs into the one of Vargas. Ethan Lewis just narrowly avoids the one, but that is what held everybody up there, what allowed Hightower and Trey Smith to have such a massive lead over the rest of the field. This is what caused it right here. But let's take a look at another angle. Here once again at full speed as they round turn 11, Vargas wide, Robinson washes right up into him. They go and slam that inside wall, and Buck nowhere to go, rams right into the one. And that knocked the 52 and the 1 out of this one. Buck was a lap down at the finish of this thing. Comes out of here with a 36th place finish, I think. But whatever it was, we'll take a look at it in a second. But this was what set up Trey Smith and Joey Hightower to be so far ahead of the rest of the field. And it was really just a battle between them. Well, it really wasn't much of a battle. Smith really just had such an unbelievable advantage over the rest of the field. He won this race by 3.45 seconds over Joey Hightower. But now it is time to go back and take a look at your race finishing results here at Watkins Glen. So folks, here are your race finishing results here for the BodyArmor Lyte 400k here at Watkins Glen. It's Trey Smith who has won this thing ahead of Joey Hightower. Ethan Lewis there in the 3rd position. Ben Young in 4th. Chris Reynolds in the 5th position. Charlie Davenport 6th. Sebastian Kukulon in 7th. Logan Alexander in 8th. Brad Stover 9th. And Riley Snare rounds out the top 10. And we will scroll through the rest of the field here. Buck coming out of here with a 40th place finish after getting stuck a lap down after that turn 11 incident with Josiah Robinson and Christian Vargas. Those 2 guys fell out of this race, and the top 20 will be flipped for tomorrow. So Ben Grorich is going to be on the pole for the BodyArmor Lyte, or the BodyArmor 500k. Then it'll be Miller, Stapleton, Crawford, Rosero, Collins, Thompson, Crouch, Wright, Osgen, the top 10 to lead the field off for tomorrow. But we are looking forward to that. But we had a frantic kicking off to the weekend here for the Cabela's Cup Series. We had a frantic race yesterday in the Scots National Series, and we had another frantic one here in race 1 of 2 for this weekend in the Cabela's Cup Series, and we are more than ready to get to tomorrow for the 500k. But we will see you then. Until then, hopefully y'all are doing alright. Y'all take care, stay safe, and have a good one. Welcome to the NOFSRL.